Hello and welcome back to this video series on data scraping using Python. In this video, we will dive deep into using Selenium Python package for more advanced use cases. Before we can use Selenium, we need to install it along with a WebDriver. WebDriver is a browser-specific driver which allows Selenium to interact with the browser. To install Selenium, open your terminal or command prompt and here type the pip command pip install Selenium. So in my case Selenium is already installed. Now let's move to download the WebDriver. For that, open the Chrome browser, Chrome driver, click on the first link. Here you can see different versions of the Chrome driver. To find the one which is matching the version of your Chrome browser, check your Chrome browser version and then install the relevant one. Click on the menu of the Chrome browser, go to Help and click on About Google Chrome. Here you can see your Chrome browser's version. Mine one is 114.0.5735. So looks like mine Chrome browser is the latest one. So I need to download the first one in the list. So once you click on that link, it will navigate you to the next page. Here you can again see the list of drivers. So the first one is for Linux, second one for Mac Intel, and the final one for Windows. Once the Chrome driver is downloaded, we can extract this folder and get the driver and put it alongside your Python script. So we will automate the process of searching items by a value like electronics, and then clicking the search button for searching this value, and then clicking the search button in order to get the results for the search term. We can also select a category to search results. Suppose I am selecting books and magazines, and then I have to click search button again. So once we get these results, you can also see we have multiple pages of the results. So in each page we are right now seeing around 60 items, and in order to scrap all the search results, we have to navigate through all these pages. So we'll be using Python Selenium package to automate this process. From this website, we will be scraping data such as the item's title, the subtitle, the price of the item, and the shipping price. So these are the four values that we will be extracting for every item in the list. So let's dive into writing the code. I will open this folder in my Visual Studio Code. So I'll first create a new script file with eBay underscore. So first thing, we first need to import some required packages. Like from Selenium, we need to import WebDriver, which will create our Chrome driver instance. We also need to import keys. This will help us enter the search term in the search box of the website. We'll also need select. So this will help us select a category from the drop-down list. We'll also import pandas. So pandas will help us save our scrap data into Excel or CSV sheet. We'll also need time. So we will need time to pause the process of scrapping for a few seconds. This will help us to wait for the data to load properly in the website. Then we can continue with scraping the data. So first thing, we need to create a Chrome driver object. So this will create a Chrome driver instance. So once the Chrome driver instance is created, we'll ask the driver to get the website by this URL. So once the website is open, next we need to find the text box to enter the value that we want to search. So to find this text box, we'll find a unique value like ID or class. If there is no unique value, then we can use the XPath of the element to find this search box. So you can see for this search box, we have a unique value ID, which is GHAC. So we'll use this ID of the element to find this search box, and then we will enter the value in this search box. So we created a search box variable, and then we asked driver to find the element by ID using the ID GHAC. So once the driver finds the search box, then we will enter the value in this search box electronics. So once the search box is found, then we'll ask the driver to send keys, which is the search term electronics that we want to set in the search box. Next, once the value is set in the search box, we need to click the search box, the search button. So for that search button, we need to look again for a unique value. Like in this case, for this button, we also have a unique ID, which is GH button. So once the button is found by ID, it will be saved, stored in this object search button. And finally, we need to call the click function on this search button in order to search the results. We can also use the execute script function of the driver to click on the search button. So we are asking this function to execute the script, and the argument 0 will accept the search button. So till this point, we should get only the results of the electronics. By the way, just notice that here in the Chrome driver instance, I'm not providing any Chrome driver path because I have placed the Chrome driver in the same directory where my Python script files are located. If your Chrome driver is in another directory, then you have to provide the Chrome driver path into the Chrome. So just a quick point so that you don't forget to provide the Chrome driver path. Okay, so let's run the code and see how it goes. So the Chrome driver has opened the Chrome and electronics is entered, and the search button is also clicked. So looks like it's working. It stopped because the script also ended. Okay. Next, let's move to the. So far we are getting the search results by clicking the search button. Now once we have the search results, how we are going to look for these items. So each item is our electronics, and if I click on inspect, we'll first get the list of all the electronics, then we will iterate through each item one by one and extract the data. So in order to get the list, you can see here is the list. If I hover the mouse over the UL element, you can see the complete list is highlighted. And if I hover mouse on the first LI element, the first item in the list is highlighted. So in this case, our list is UL, but since we don't have any unique ID or class name for this, we should see any unique name or ID for the items itself. We have IDs for this, but you can see these are just random numbers. We cannot get these items by IDs. So let's look for another clue. I think we can use this S item class name to extract so this will be unique among the items, the search results. So I can use this S item class name to get the list of items. So I'm creating this item variable and asking driver to find the elements. Just note that here I'm using the find elements method. Here we were looking for single element because we were looking just for the search box and button. But in this case, we are looking for multiple elements and we are using the class name as item. So this function will return a list of elements and that will be our items object. Okay, so we got this list of items and now let's use try catch. The try catch is useful when we are expecting any errors from the code. So obviously we are going to scrap the data, we'll be finding elements and we can expect some exceptions or errors that will occur while scrapping the data. So we'll use try catch for that to handle the exceptions. Let's iterate through each element in the items. And for now, let's print that to make sure that we are iterating through the items, and we'll also know that how many items are placed in this items list. By the way, I think I should set the try catch inside the for loop because that for catch will only get us the outer exception which is happening outside the for loop, but we want the to catch the errors which are happening inside the for loop. That's why we should set the try catch inside the for loop. Okay, so let's first create, to scrap the data, let's create items list, items details. This will be a dictionary, and in each dictionary we will get we'll place the scrap data. So first thing, we need to get the title of the element. So first we are iterating through each element in the list. Now once we have the item, we'll get the title from the item. So we'll do that by again inspecting the elements, the structure of the element. So you can see here we have that this is a div and it has a unique ID, unique class name as item title. So we'll use this class name to find the element that contains the title for this item. So once we get the title, then we'll get the text of the found element title, and that text will be saved in the title variable. Now let's save that title in the details as well, the item details dictionary. So we are setting item details title is equal to title. Again, next we need to get the subtitle, and the subtitle should again contain some it also has a subclass, so the subtitle also has a class name as item subtitle. We can use this class name. Oh, by the way, first before going to subtitle, we also need to get this link of the item. So once we have this link in the data sheet, so anyone clicking on this link will be directed to this web page where the details of the item will be shown in that page. So this will be the URL for this item in our data sheet once the data is scrapped. Okay, so to get this link for the item, you can see we already have the item found, right? But in this title, so in this item link, we have this href attribute. So we'll be getting the value of href. You can see we are again calling the found title element, and we are getting the attribute href. So once we get the attribute value, we will save again in the items details dictionary. We will save it as item link. Okay, now moving to the subtitle. So as we saw, we had the as item link class for the subtitle. So we'll find the element by subclass by the class name as item link. I'm sorry, it should be subtitle. I think I missed it. Okay, so it should be as item subtitle. Yep, I should replace this item link by subtitle. Okay, now once we find the subtitle, we can get the subtitle by calling the text attribute of the subtitle, and it will return the string to subtitle. Again, we will need to save it in the dictionary as subtitle. Okay, we got the subtitle as well. Now we need to get the price. So if I click on the price, again we have the class for the price. It's as item price. So the price item will be found, and we will get the text of the price element, and we will save the text in the dictionary as price. So finally, we need to just get the shipping price, and it should also contain some clue. Okay, we also have the as item shipping class for to get the shipping element. So we'll use this shipping class in order to find this element, and then get the text of the shipping element, and then save it in the dictionary with key shipping. Okay, so far we got hopefully we got the item link, the item title, the link, the subtitle, price, and the shipping price, and we got them all in the dictionary. So let's first save, maybe we should first print the dictionary and see how the data looks. Okay, let's run this code and see how things go. Okay, I think I should. Okay. Okay, so looks like things are going well so far. Finally, it closed. So you can see this is our dictionary. So the final element was title, and it's something, I'm not sure, this is a pretty long title, and then we have the item link. Here is the item link. So if I click on this link, I should navigate to the right. Yeah, you can see that link also works. So I'm navigated to this item. Okay, perfect. And then we have the price, and it shows that we are missing something because the price and the title looks the same. Maybe we are missing something. Okay, so we are setting item.text. Instead, it should be ePrice.text. Okay, it should work now. It should work fine now. And then we have the e-shipping instead of, okay, I think instead of subtitle, we should have e-shipping. Yeah, because in the shipping cost, we had again the subtitle. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, so the term electronics is entered and search is also clicked. Okay, so you can see now we have the perfect title, the item link, subtitle, price, and shipping price as well. So everything looks good so far. Okay, now once we have this completed and we got the data, let's create. So far we are just printing the details as a dictionary, right? Now we should create a list of these items. And in this list of items, we will save the dictionary for each item, which will contain the details, the scrap data for each item. And I think, okay, so now here we need to just append the details into the items list. So instead of printing this, we can just append this into the items list. And once we append this data into the item list, then I think we can in the end, but before that, let's also implement the navigation, because we are right now just scraping data from one page. It has multiple pages. This data is, the search results are in multiple pages, so we need to click on every other page so that we can extract data from those pages as well. Okay, so let's implement that part too. So in order to get to next pages, we need to click on this button while this is active, right? So if I click on one, so this one is inactive and this one is active. So we should write the script that keeps on looking for this until keeps on clicking on this button until this button is active. So how will we know this button is active? We can see that here we have some classes. Where are the classes? Text classes, pagination, next icon link, right? So you can see this is, here are the pagination classes. Yeah, you can see pagination, next icon class. So this one is active, but if this was inactive, it would be okay, here we go, pagination icon button. So this is the difference. It will be, when it is inactive, it is icon button, but if it is active, it is, the class will be icon link. So the logic should be like, until we find the icon link class in this button, it should keep on clicking on the button to move to next page. I hope this makes sense. So the first thing is, we first need to get this, find this button, and we can find this button by using the class pagination next. So I think we should create a function for this where we just get the where we just find the so that function will just find the next button for us, and I will define that function here. Remove this. Okay, so the next button will do find the class by pagination next, and it will return us the next button, or we can use just this next button as well. And so we have that function which will find the next button for us, and we will call that function outside this for loop, because I think we need to, okay, let's do it this way. We'll create a while true for loop, so this will keep on going until the next button is inactive. So while the next button is true, and this will bring this item in the items in the while loop, because so while the next button is true, it will go to get the items of the list from the page, and then it will iterate through all the items and get the data, scrap the data. Once the scrap data is completed, it should get the next button outside of this for loop, right? And if the next button is not none, then it should get the classes around the next button element. So if next button is found and it's not none, it should get all the classes attributes from the next button. Let me show you how. So it will get all the classes, this attribute, the classes attribute, and of the next button. So if the icon link, if icon link not in classes, it means that the next button is inactive. It has changed to icon button. That's why we need to break this loop, because there are no new pages in the list. Else the next button should be clicked, right? And so once the next button is clicked, there the data will the page will be refreshed. So if I click on the next button, so you can see this page is refreshed, and the next page data is loaded. So therefore we need to pause the process for a while. Like I'm just setting it for 3 seconds. You can experiment with it according to your internet speed and other variables. Maybe they are lagging on the server side as well. So just make sure that these experiments are crucial. Once you are scraping data, you have to synchronize your code running with the website loading timeout. So that's the thing you need to make sure you are synchronizing. So once the next button is still available, there are new pages available, that it should be clicked and the process should sleep for 3 seconds. If that is not the case, that the icon link class is not present in the classes, the while loop should break out and it should go out of this loop. Okay, now let's first test this, how it goes. Like so far we have set the while loop for navigating through pages, And within this while loop we have this for loop which will be navigating through the items in the within each page, and this for loop will be scraping the data from each item. Run this code and see how this goes. And once this is clear, yeah, you can see that the second page is clicked, next page button is clicked, and now we are on the second page. Just notice the next button click. Yeah, and we are on third page. Looks like we have got what we were expecting. And the pagination is also working fine. So now we have item details in the list item, and we should get all the items in the list from the scrap data. So finally we are set. We have the pagination and the scrapping part working well. Now we need to save the scrap data in a data sheet. So we will do that by creating a data frame of the panda package, and we will provide the items list into the data frame object. Okay, so once the data frame is created, we need to save this as an Excel sheet, and we do that by calling the toExcel function and providing the file name and the file type. If you want to save it as CSV, you can just call the function .toCSV, and here change the extension from XLSX to CSV. But we want to save it as Excel file. We'll go back to Excel. Another thing is that since we have so many pages of data, I'm not sure, let's see. Yeah, so we have 120,000 plus results for electronics just. So it will take a lot of time to scrape this data for this video purpose. I think I will just set the logic to scrap data from the first 3 pages, and we will do that by stopping the while loop from going to the 4th page. Let's set the counter here, and we'll set the counter to suppose 1. Yeah, and here when the next button is clicked, so before clicking on next button, first we should do that counter. We should increment the counter by 1 and see if counter is on page 4, right? So 3 pages are already scrapped. Now it's on 4th page. At this point it should break and not click on the next button. If this is not equal to 4, it will move on to the next line and click the next button. Let's run this code and see how it works. Okay, so here we have our Chrome browser opened, electronics entered, search button clicked, and you can see we have these scraping items going on. We are on 2nd page now. Next button is clicked, and we are on 3rd page now. So this is our last page which we expect to be scraped, and on 4th page it should stop. Yeah, it stopped. Our file is also saved here. Yep. Okay, let me reveal this in File Explorer and open this file. Right. Okay, so you can see we have these titles. By the way, I'm seeing this opens in a new tab or new window or tab. So this looks an extra text which is scrapped alongside the title. I think we need to remove, and I'm seeing this in all the titles. Yeah, you can see we have it in all the titles. So we'll remove this from the scrap title. So you can expect these kind of random texts, special characters, or something that you don't want to be in your data. You can do the cleaning part after the data is scrapped. And here we have the links of the elements and links of the items and the subtitle, the price, and the shipping price. Okay, let's click on one of the item links so that we can open it. Maybe I should get this. Yeah, it's opened already. Right, you can see it's loaded Mio Mini Plus. So this is the title. And yeah, we click on this link and we can see the title is the same, loaded Mio Mini Plus something. So it looks like we successfully scraped the data, and let's first remove this random text from the from the title. So here is our title, and we can just say that replace this text by an empty string, and this should solve this issue of random text. We wanted to use this drop down list, right? Search items by the selecting a value from drop down list. Like in this case, if I want to select books and click on search button, here we have books, but in this case we have subcategories as well. In this case you have to modify your script to further click on a subcategory as well. Let's look for something else. Cameras and photos. Anyway, let's just do the part that it selects a category from this drop down list. So first we need to inspect this element and find out how can we get this element on the code level. And you can see we have the ID GH category, GH and we can find this drop down list by using the ID. Instead of finding the text box and entering the text value, we are going to find the drop down list by ID category, and it will be drop down. Again, once the drop down element is found, we need to convert this object into a select element and saving it as a select object. You can see we imported this select class from the Selenium package to convert the drop down list into a select object. There are three ways to select a value from a drop down list. You can use the function select by calling this function select by visible text. So our visible text is books, everything we see here in this category. These are visible text, and these visible text will also have a value. Like if I expand this, so for books and magazines we have this value 267 and 625 for cameras and photos. You can also select a value or an element by providing the value. Another thing is we can also select a value from this drop down list by the index. So here it starts from the 0th index, the first, second, third. We can also do that by select by index 2, and it will select the third element in the drop down list. I think we'll just go with the visible text, and we want the value books to be selected, which is no, it's not just books, it's books and magazines. Maybe we should just go for baby. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's run the code. Yeah, you can see. So here, from the drop down list, it should select. Yeah, the baby is selected, and this search button is also clicked. But you can see we have subcategories like feeding, toys, and babies. If I click on this one, now we should have the list of items. Yeah, you can see here we have the list of items, and then now it will be scrapped. This data will be scrapped. You can see. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I think we covered everything about Selenium. Let me know in the comment section if you think I missed something or I should cover it further in more detail, or if you have any example that I should cover or a website that I should scrap using Selenium. Please let me know in the comment section, and please also don't forget to like, subscribe and share this, subscribe the channel and share this video. It will motivate me further create this kind of useful content. That's it for all for this video. Thank you.